I have a clip here because he was in a lot of TV. He was in I don't know if many people remember the old Starsky and Hutch. I couldn't find a clip of him in the original in English.
Vosotros dos sois increíbles. Y eso es mucho dinero. Hey, Starsky.
It's not even matching, man.
That voice does not fit him at all.
Carlos Weathers. So the chance of
That is weird.
Yeah, folks, it's been a rough start this year. We've lost some greats. We've lost Abraham Lincoln. We've lost an alligator. And then we've lost Carl Weathers right here, man.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, it's in the picture right there.
No,
Come on.
No. It makes sense.
You didn't hear about the passing of Abraham Lincoln?
No, I just needed you to remind me.
Okay, yeah, man. It just happened. It's terrible.
I fucking love that alligator's hand.
Yeah. We lost an alligator. Yeah, people, it's terrible. The latest one is they say they go in threes.
Yeah.
As you can see right there. But Carl Weathers, man, we lost Carl Weathers, and I think it's safe to say that everyone knows who Carl Weathers is.
Oh yeah,
Carl
in
Weathers,
some way.
Yeah, some way. Carl Weathers has been here in some form or another for every generation since he stepped on the scene. Mm-hmm. And this man has been around for several generations. And that's a compliment. That's a huge compliment to this man right here.
Stayed working.
Always. Only thing I'm disappointed, and I had to check myself because I was mad. I was like, man, you couldn't make it to 80. Come on now. Yeah, it was 78. But I don't know what the cause of death is. I don't know if anybody knows what cause of death was, but it was reported that he died peacefully in his sleep. So, I mean, I would say this. It must be terrible for people who are close to Carl Weathers to lose him. But, man, what a gift to die peacefully in your sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be working as much as this man has.
Exactly, yeah. Like, he was working consistently until the end.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. Now, I like some people that are what somebody called Dolph Lundgren, see where he is. Yeah, it's kind of suspicious how we haven't heard from him lately. But nah, man, we are actually here to just give our respects and just talk about some fun memories of Carl Weathers and what he meant for us coming up. In which there's a big age difference between you and I.
Oh yeah.
So there's what Carl Weathers to me, and the things that he's done might not be the same for you.
Definitely not. We were introduced in totally different ways.
Yeah. And like I said, we're not here to give every details of his career. We're not here to go in and, do all this trivia or anything like that. This happened yesterday that everybody heard about it. I tried to get something together yesterday, but couldn't get it up. Otherwise, it would have been too late when we did it. So we're just going to sit back and just, like I say, talk about some fun memories, man. And what Carl Weathers meant to us. And, so Julian, I'm like I said, I'm very sure that my experience with Mr. Weathers is different than yours.
Yeah.
But I do think I speak for a lot of people out there. When the name Carl Weathers is brought up, it's synonymous with one character, and that is Apollo Creed.
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, yeah, definitely, I agree with you. The funny thing is that I already knew about him before I saw Rocky and got into those movies. I actually watched Rocky when I was in college. So,
okay.
So about 10 years ago. There was other stuff that I had seen, but when I saw that, I was like, so that's why this guy's such a huge star.
Yeah. See, the thing is, man, Carl Weathers brought some real depth to that character. Oh, that could have been just a typical villain. This is why Rocky is such a great movie, man, because it's not just an underdog story. It's a tremendous performance by Sylvester Stallone.
The script is really impressive.
Oh, the script is great. No, Rocky is a brilliant film, man. It rises above just being a sports film or underdog film.
Definitely, and it holds up after all these years. It will never be dated.
No. But a lot of that credit has to be given to the performance of Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed.
Oh yeah.
Because again, just the acting that Carl Weathers brought to it. You know, what he did was with that character, he showed he was not just this guy who was some muscle bound dumb villain in the movie who was taking on, you know, like some dumb boxer. This guy was smart, and even though, and I'm gonna mention this later, like he was smart, but he had a lot of underneath it all, he did have respect for Rocky.
Oh, definitely.
But like to watch these scenes where it would just shift from Sylvester Stallone over to Apollo Creed, the character Apollo Creed, man, those scenes hold a lot of weight, and those scenes really bring that movie to what it, you know, to the masterpiece status that it is today, or helps bring it to that status that we have today with that film.
Give a local Philadelphia boy a shot at the greatest title in the world on this country's biggest birthday.
Very American.
It's very smart.
He was. That's the thing about that character, man. He was not he was never played as a brute.
No, he's a smart guy and he's business savvy.
Yeah, he was a very smart guy. And what I mean by he never played as a brute, man, you know, there were hardly ever any scenes where he would get in Rocky's face during when they would have you know, these
Like confrontations?
these press conferences.
Yeah.
He never got in that, you know, that confrontational state where it's just, you know, these two meatheads just going at each other. And Rocky too. See that, man, this character was so great that I don't even know if they knew that he would endure as much as he did for several films.
Yeah.
Because
he stuck around.
Yeah, no, they brought him back for the second one, and he was even stronger in the second movie, man. And the thing about it is, like I said, man, if you look at this press conference here, Rocky is trolling his ass. And, you know, and I think the reason why Apollo doesn't retaliate like in a physical kind of way or in a brutish kind of way is because, first of all, I think he's able to show that he has respect for Rocky without having to like expose it too much. You know, he lets Rocky talk in this scene, and he's just a funny guy, man. He's just, you know, he's more about just promoting himself than you know, coming across as this, you know, this barbaric boxer, this dumb boxer that just wants to be up in everybody's face. I like, this is from a Rocky 2 where they get into a rematch because Apollo Creed, spoiler for everybody who doesn't know, he won the first in the first movie, but he came back as like, well, I don't feel like I won one. You know, people are doubting me. And I love this scene right here, man. Even as much as Rocky's adorable in this scene right here, and he's like trolling Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed's Carl Weathers' charisma is really, again, holding this scene down.
Southpaw jinx nothing. Last time I took the fight too lightly, and this man was just plain lucky. But this time you all will see the real Apollo Creed.
As long as he's gonna punch out.
Now who's that? Al Capone?
I love it. He doesn't sound like he's ready to fight. He just sound like somebody's daddy. Now who's this boy over here? Al Capone.
Dude, I'd like to get a couple of hats and a motorcycle and a couple.
He's so mad right now, man, because he's doing his best to bait him and to get into an argument with him. But I think if you look at this in this scene, the magic of this scene is that Carl Weathers is able to convey a lot. You know, like I said, man, you know, he's still able to be intelligent. He's still able to come across as charismatic, but still, though, there's something about that scene where I was like, man, and a lot of actors wouldn't be able to do this. He still shows a kind of respect for Rocky, man. As you can see right here, it's like, damn, this dude's not, you know, he's not taking it, man.
There's a real nuance to the passion that character has.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this character, man. I love this character. And this is probably, I'm not trying to be tasteless or anything, man. I always thought, hey, I want to know what people think, man, about this. I always thought, since they had brought this character so far, I always thought it was a bad idea to kill this character off. And I don't know if you follow the Rocky movies.
Yeah, I've seen all the Rocky movies, and I've seen the first Creed.
It's funny because I don't think they should have killed that character off, but at the same time, man, it is one of the most memorable and iconic death scenes in movie cinema history.
I don't even remember it, to be honest. It's been years since I've seen the Rocky movies.
He got killed by Ivan Drago.
Oh, yeah.
In 4.
Yeah, that's right.
Because this is where, you know, and this is where they kind of reduced the character. And that's why I didn't like the death scene, or killing this character off, because they had done so much with this character before. And in Rocky 4, they reduced him to just being a loudmouth who he was so egotistical that this fucking idiot, he was an idiot, man. I'm sorry, he didn't train. he was older.
Yeah.
He wasn't in his prime anymore. And he just kind of got by on he thought he could get by on his narcissism and ego. And meanwhile, Ivan Drago was juiced up. He was juiced the fuck up, man.
He had so many montages of him training. He was ready.
No, yeah, man. And when they finally got together in the ring, yeah, of course he killed him. Everybody knew it was going to happen. I mean, and I think they even showed the death in the trailer. I was like, damn, that's the only complaint I have about Rocky. I think they reduced that character to just a fucking idiot in that movie. But not only is it an iconic death scene, everybody remembers it, but man, his death scene had a couple of like real memorable lines, almost quotable lines, like "Throw in the damn towel."
Oh yeah.
And if he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
I've never seen Apollo take so much punishment.
Throw in the damn towel. I remember when we saw the movie, man. We laughed at that part actually.
Seen Apollo take so much punishment.
Throw in the damn towel.
That's great.
Yeah. It's too, man, listen, I know everybody remembers this death scene. Everybody's talking about it. Great lines. It was definitely a historic moment for the series, but man, this film's so cheesy too.
It's so melodramatic.
Yeah. Throwing in the towel too late, you know. Like, what the fuck you throwing in the towel now? The dude's down.
That bloody towel.
You know, all these shots right here.
Yeah, the zoom in's a bit much, but the knockout is really nicely shot. The way they got the light shining into the camera, that's beautiful.
Actually, no, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that.
That's fucked up, twitching on the ground.
Yeah, it's very, like you said, very melodramatic. Got him fucking the floor.
Yeah.
Wow, the most dramatic thing in this thing is that dude's mustache.
Yeah, Mario is the referee.
He's the dad.
He dies.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of great. Listen, I get it. It's a lot of great stuff in that scene. I never liked how they did Apollo in that scene, man. I didn't.
That was the last of the Rocky movies that I enjoyed. Like that, the next one's where it's about his son, right? That's the fifth one.
You're talking about from Rocky movies? Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah. But I thought that character really like had a nice like evolution and change, and yeah, they did kind of throw him away at the end of that, but.
Yeah, no, they did, especially after the bond that they built in 3. And 3 is where we start getting into supervillains.
Yeah.
Clubber Lang is a supervillain, man.
Definitely.
Ivan Drago is definitely, he's more than human.
There's a special charm to those Rocky movies. A lot of people like to write off the sequels. I would give it up until the fourth one. The fifth one is like where his brain was split in half. It's like, all right, guys, stop it.
That'd be the sci-fi movies. Like, let him fight a robot now.
Yeah. His maid robot, Rosie the Riveter, or whatever.
Yeah, but 3, maybe I just love what they did with it, because 3 is really, it's where they start getting the supervillains, and then 3 is where it's a romance. It's a romance movie. It's more of a romance movie than a boxing movie. The romance is between Rocky and Apollo Creed. Man, seriously, this it's one big bromance movie, man. The bond between those two, you see the bond between those two more than Adrian and Rocky, man. And like this right here. Like listen, this is a scene. I'm not even bullshit. This is a scene between lovers, man. This is a bromance movie.
It has the vibe of that scene in Zoolander where they're just spraying gasoline all over each other.
I'm not trying to make a gay joke or anything, but this is a romance movie, man.
You know what it's reminding me of is the relationship between Captain America and Falcon when they're running. I love you, brother.
Yeah, look at this, man. Yeah, dude, underneath all the boxing and the drama and everything, it's a romance film, and the romance is between those two. I'm not even lying. Like
No,
it's a straight romance, but it's a romance.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot. People who are just really great friends.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just fell in love with their relationship with in that film, man. I thought that they could have done more, but you know that goes to show you just how amazing that character is, how popular that character is, because that character endured, man. Let me see here, because even after that character was dead, the character's so popular, his name alone carried weight. That's why you had years later, you had Michael B. Jordan as his son in Creed.
Mm-hmm. He's right over here. We had to separate him.
Well, I think you could be great too.
You know, that character was so loved that even the name just carried enough weight to where that movie, of course, the movie was great too. You ever see Creed?
I did. I saw the first one. The second one, that's where they killed Rocky off. Is that the one? Or
They never killed him.
they never killed him, but he just looks like the Crypt Keeper, like he's like gray and
They had his
dying.
ass in the hospital, and
Yeah.
they said he had cancer, so everybody kind of has this Mandela effect where they think that he died.
Okay.
And he didn't.
Yeah, I remember it looking a little bit cartoony by the end of the first Creed. I like the first Creed, though. I'm a fan of the Rocky movies. There's at least one more iconic. He's had a couple of iconic friends, this guy.
Oh, well, you know what? I think, because let me tell you something. I'm going to go through what I remember him by. I'm going to get into your era of Carl Weathers, because you'll be able to talk about something that I have really not a lot of knowledge of, because I need to catch up on my Carl Weathers movies, man.
And TV shows.
And TV shows. You were definitely right about that. I do know that, man, listen, just how great was Carl Weathers? Carl Weathers was so great that him and another man gave us the greatest handshake ever in cinema.
Of all time.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Look at, man, I love that everything stopped in this movie just to focus on those two arms. You know, I thought those two arms were gonna break loose and just start taking over the whole movie.
Yeah, they're the new characters.
I thought those two arms were gonna break off and beat the Predator, man.
Old lefty and righty.
Yeah, yeah, that's Predator, man. That's one of the best lines in the movie. Dylan, you son of a bitch, and it's made great because of those two biceps.
I don't know if it's the best. There's some really good lines in that movie.
Oh yeah, it's some great lines.
There
in
are
that movie.
some that I love so much you can't repeat anymore.
Really?
The one talking about, oh, make you into a sexual tyrannosaurus.
Oh.
Bunch of slack jaw.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Can't really say that.
No, I know the one. I love that the way to make these guys look bigger, they put them in shirts that are 3 times too small for them. Come on, man. You know that shirt's too small. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's Predator. I love it too, man, because they gave us this amazing handshake right here.
You son of a bitch.
And right when we saw that, my man lost that bicep. He lost that arm.
Yeah, he did. It's great foreshadowing.
But that arm is so badass it keeps shooting, man. It didn't need the body to keep going, man. Fuck you. And like it doesn't even hurt anymore.
What next?
Yeah, that's how badass he is, man. Like, huh? What arm? What do you mean? Oh, my arm is missing? I didn't know. Yeah, man. Somebody said rest in peace, arm.
Yeah, that character like is still popular in the zeitgeist of everything. Like, I don't know how much I did. That's what I was looking up here, but I know because I remember that he had some video game presence, and
yeah?
I'm pretty sure that character from Predator was featured in Mortal Kombat X as a skin for Jax.
Oh, really? Dylan?
Yeah.
They shot his arm off and he forgot about that arm. And was like, you know what? Fuck it. I got another one. Not that it did any good, you know, but hey.
And that movie's filled to the brim with iconic characters, and he still stands out.
Yeah, he definitely stands out, man. No, he's That movie, by the way, I love Predator. Predator's
yeah.
amazing, but yeah, Dylan is. That's another place where I'm like, damn, why'd they kill him off, man? Because I love that character so much. Just because Carl Weathers is such a great actor that every character he plays has, brings so much charisma to them that you want to see those characters keep going.
And even when he's playing himself, basically, it's still great.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Oh, what do we got here? I need to catch up on some of my Carl Weathers movies, as I said, but a lot of people recognize what I'm saying with Carl Weathers. He has a lot of presence, man. It's I always wondered why he never took off as an action star, within the same caliber as I don't know, like Die Hard Bill, Bruce Willis.
Okay, yeah.
Like I know, listen, Schwarzenegger is on he's a whole other universe.
Oh, yeah.
But like Wesley Snipes, Bruce Willis, people like that. I always wonder why Carl Weathers didn't get to that point, man. Because, and I don't know, maybe at the time people just thought. I don't know why. I haven't seen the movie, but I know that this movie got criticized when it came out. And I can't even remember why it did, but I was like, what's the difference between what my man is doing here and what all these other action stars are doing when it comes to just over-the-top action? And some of y'all know what I'm about to mention, and we have to do a retro review of this movie right here.
Some action.
Well, maybe that's why.
There's so much crazy stuff. I was watching the trailer of that yesterday. I was like, I don't know if this is good or bad, but some of this is insane.
See, I've talked about doing a bad movie roast for this, and people are like, you better not do it. But then some other people like, man, listen, this movie's stupid, okay? But it's still great.
And it's definitely iconic. I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard Action Jackson before.
Oh, yeah. Action Jackson is like a term given to people now,
It sounds like an action figure.
It does. I remember sometimes people use it to other effects. I mean, there was this kid I knew, his name was Jackson, but he was lazy as fuck. They called him Inaction Jackson.
You sure could teach Mr. T a thing or two.
Man, but it had everything. It had beautiful girls, big greased up, muscle bound bodies. A great villain, Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, I was gonna say I recognized him.
Yeah, way over the top action, and of course, every let me see here, every action star, they got their comedy got to be on point, man. They got to at least have a skill for one-liners or puns.
Yeah.
You know his ass is gone.
Man, did you see that gun that he's holding? Looks like a PVC pipe with some metal tubes just taped to it. It looks awesome. It does not look real.
No.
Barbecue, huh? How do you like your ribs?
And then they actually cooked the guy.
Wow.
Yeah, they ate him. They ate him later.
Great editing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We blew up a guy. Let's have lunch.
Yeah, that's a reference to what the bad guys were going to do to him earlier. They're going to torture him with a flame. And that guy was asking him like, you like barbecue? Tell me what hurts. And then, of course, he blew his ass up. Man, so, that's Action Weathers right there. He's looking at all the action movies that he's done. And again, by the way, great thing about Carl Weathers, he even with some of the craziest action movies, he brought something to it, man.
He definitely did. Was that your introduction to the character? Was that the first time you saw him?
When?
With Action Johnson?
Oh, no.
Or Jackson?
No. Rocky.
Okay, so Rocky was before Action Johnson.
Oh, way
Jackson.
before.
Okay.
Yeah. Action Jackson wasn't until the 80s.
Okay, I thought it was the 70s. Okay.
The first Rocky was in the 70s.
Okay.
Late 70s, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that about Rocky. I knew it was
Yeah.
closer to the 60s, yeah, but...
Yeah, so, but, people your age probably grew up with him when he did a shift from doing action to comedy. Mm-hmm. That's a multi-talented guy, man.
Very much so, yeah. And he stood out in those movies, too, with his own iconic things about him.
So you were talking, see, I never saw, excuse me, I had a margarita today. I never saw Happy Gilmore, man.
Yeah, that was my first introduction to the character.
Really?
Or to the actor, yeah. Just seeing him come in there with being this crazy one-handed golfer with a wooden hand.
I saw a picture I wish I could put it up. I don't have it now, but I saw a picture where you had Carl Weathers standing next to Adam Sandler, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with his hand? I thought it was, I didn't know what was going on.
It's a big plot point where he was cut down in my prime, where he had his hand bit off by an alligator.
Damn, the alligator just popped up. Cut me down in my prime.
That's the picture I saw right there. I was like, what the fuck? Why is his hand so big? I didn't know what was that, but I just thought it was the angle or something. I was like, what the hell? I said, damn, Carl Weathers got some freakishly big hands, man.
Yeah, the lighting was weird in the
Yeah.
90s.
Can't drive the ball 400 yards. Bet your neighbor the account doesn't.
Long that arm.
He's just clearly holding a fake hand.
It looked like a damn Muppet arm, man. Yeah, and he's holding it, man. I love in movies where the actor, of course, still has their hand, so whenever they get like a fake hand, it's always like 2 feet in front of them.
Yeah. Oh! It's real sturdy.
Oh boy. Sorry about that.
Man, it was a terrible looking hand anyway. Get another one. And meanwhile, his real hand is still there.
Balled up.
But yeah, there's a fist under there. Yeah, so man, I hear Happy Gilmore is actually great.
That's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. It's really like fast paced and like a lot of the jokes hit, and it's not as dumb as some of his later stuff like Jack and Jill or Grown Ups and stuff like that. Like it's Adam Sandler showing his chops, like because he's got good comedy chops.
Yeah, that's cool, man. You have to check it out.
That would be a good retro review also. That would be a fun one.
Happy Gilmore. Yeah, I've been wanting everybody, even people who don't like Adam Sandler movies, tell me Happy Gilmore is the one to
and
watch.
There's a lot of great cameos in the movie. The guy who plays Jaws plays an old like manager of Happy Gilmore because early on in the movie.
Oh, he's about Jaws from James Bond.
Yeah. The sharks in the movie.
Yeah, y'all. The guy who played the shark.
No, there's like a bit like where they're showing like his life early on. It's this really great montage, and he shows that he was working in a construction yard, and he shoots his boss in the head with a nail, and that's Jaws. And later on, he's like, "Mr. Gilmore, hi, happy to see you." He's still there with a nail in his head.
Okay, that sounds like regular Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
All right, okay.
But there's also what's his name? The old host of The Price is Right.
Bob Barker.
Yeah, Bob Barker beats the shit out of Adam Sandler.
I remember that. Yeah,
you've probably seen that.
I've seen those scenes. Yeah,
there's a lot of great stuff in Happy Gilmore. But he went on to play that character again, though, in one of Adam Sandler's other movies, which I sent you the clip for too.
Jenna, Krista, time for your mambo lesson. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
He sure does have a lisp on that. All in the hits. That's a reference back to Happy Gilmore. For those who've seen the movie, you know what scene it is.
Come on. Work with me now. It's all in the hips.
There's just something great about that, though, because you don't think about it just looking at that, but there's like really good, subtle, like ridiculous things, like the wooden hand, or like that Adam Sandler's wearing a fucking hockey jersey. Like that is so stupid looking.
Yeah, you know. I'm gonna go back and watch this movie, man.
It's a fun one. Yeah. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Especially now that I know Carl Weathers is in there, you know. Let's see here. Yeah, he was, you know, a lot of people know him when he did make his let me see here. When he did make his transition to TV. Now a lot of people know his transition to TV from one thing in particular. Let me see here. You know, a lot of people, when I say TV, I'm talking about, you know, it's TV, but TV with big scope because they got that mouse money behind them, Disney. A lot of people recognize our very young generations now. We're talking about, you know, Gen Z, pretty much growing up, probably getting their first experience with Carl Weathers from one of his TV projects, which, again, when we're talking TV today, we're talking about TV with a lot of money behind it. Star Wars, Star Wars series, The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He played what is the character? Grief Karga, I believe.
Remember. My brain's been thrown away. Star Wars information.
Yeah. I watched The Mandalorian, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that he was in it.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah, he played like the head of a bounty hunters organization. Later on became sort of like, I guess, kind of the sheriff of this town, where he kind of reformed himself and tried to bring, you know, bring the town up and start fighting off all the bad guys.
Is there a problem here?
I love the way that the Baby Yoda sniffed. Like, are we getting lunch soon?
Yeah, this dumb shit again. Okay. Oh, I love this scene. All these rubber masks back.
What season was that?
2, I think.
Yeah, that had to be 2 or 3. I don't know if there has been a third season.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people know him. Younger generations know him from that. But you brought up something I didn't even know he was in this show.
Playing himself, no less.
Yeah, and what show we talking about?
Arrested Development.
Yeah, funny show. I never watched it consistently, and I watched it so inconsistently that I did not know he was in the show.
Man, I would be as bold to say that it's one of the best sitcoms to ever be on TV.
Really?
It's so funny, and it's filled with, I mean, Will Arnett's in it.
Yeah.
You know, what's his name? The other actor who's in this scene with
Bob,
Carl
no.
I know his character's name. The guy who plays Tobias.
Jesus. What's his name? Yeah.
He's super iconic. He's really funny in this show. He's one of my favorite characters.
David Cross.
Yes, David Cross. He's hilarious in this scene. And watching him and Carl Weathers go back and forth, it is a treat.
I go to craft service, get some raw veggies, bacon, cup of soup. Baby, I had a stew going.
I think I'd like my money back.
Shows that Carl Weathers had a good sense of humor about himself. Some people probably wouldn't want to make fun of themselves like that, but he was confident and good at it.
Hey, man, listen. You know, the characters he played came across as smart. He was smart. You know, he's smart enough to know that, listen, you can't play an action star your whole life. You know, you gotta have some diversity. You know, and a lot of times people who can like transition into comedy, they have a great career, man. Like Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, yeah.
And everything he did was awesome. You know, in fact, he did some horrible things. But Leslie Nielsen was not the comic actor early in his career.
Yeah, and that's how most people know him. Is a comedic icon, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, think. You know, how's this working out for a lot of these guys, man, who try to consistently play action stars later in their career? You know, you got to be able to like expand in a drama or being a director or going into comedy or something. And he was doing all that. Now, not only did he do comedy, but he directed 2 episodes
really
of The Mandalorian. Jesus, I mean, this guy was amazing, man.
Yeah, more hits than misses for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Got his start in television though. Just the other day, and I'm being serious. So there's this channel that I watch, and it's all old TV. It's called Great Entertainment TV, I think. Get. And there's 2 things I watch on there. I watch old episodes of Sanford and Son, and I watch old episodes of Good Times. Do you remember Good Times?
I mean, I've heard you guys
with
talk
JJ.
about it.
I don't know. You probably
I haven't seen it.
Okay, see now that's way beyond your time.
Oh, yeah.
But just the other night, I'm not bullshitting. Just the other night, an episode came on where Carl Weathers was in it.
Alvin, what are you doing here?
I got a better question, baby. What the hell are you doing here?
Oh, nice to meet you. You owe me $25 for services rendered.
So JJ was a painter. He was an artist. And this woman wanted a painting of herself done for her husband, but she wanted it done nude, I think, and or her dressed up in very, very skimpy clothes, like a bikini or something. And of course, you know, this being a sitcom, Carl Weathers comes in at the most awkward moment. So
why you?
Yeah, what are you doing to my wife? You skinny black skeleton. But
Is that the guy who would say dynamite?
Yeah, that was him. Dynamite.
Yeah, that hat.
Well, that's his painter's hat, you know. As you can see, the paint is on the hat actually. He just puts his brush up there. I have a clip here because he was in a lot of TV. He was in I don't know if many people remember the old Starsky and Hutch.
I've definitely heard of it. I've seen the remake with Ben Stiller.
Yeah. Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. Yeah. He was Carl Weathers was in the original. I couldn't find a clip of him in the original in English, so I can. This is the only thing I have here.
What'd you find it in?
You'll see.
Vosotros dos sois increíbles. Y eso es mucho dinero.
Starsky.
It's not even matching, man.
That voice does not fit him at all.
Carlos Weathers. So the chance of what the fuck?
That is weird.
Yeah, Well, you know what, man? For years, this dude didn't change at all.
Even when he was in that Little Nicky clip, I was like, man, he has aged very gracefully.
Yeah, this dude. Yeah, what you call it? Why am I doing that chair with him? Arrested Development.
Yeah, he looks amazing there.
Yeah, this dude hardly aged up until years later.
Yeah.
And even then, he still looked great.
Yeah, in Star Wars, that was near the end of his career, but he looked great.
Yep, yes, he did. But like I said, people, we're just going down memory lane with some of our fondest memories of Carl Weathers. Feel free to share some of your own. And thank y'all for coming in and checking us out, man.